What's up, my friends? So a New Jersey police sergeant was just indicted on first-degree aggravated manslaughter after his body cam footage was released. And I just was thinking about how we all, as concealed carriers, have to act in a split second in that self-defense situation and decide if we're going to use deadly force, if we're going to retreat, if we're going to use something less than deadly force. And I want to talk about that today. What force should we be using, and was this police officer justified in the force that he used? So guys, hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below, let me know, do you think police officers should be held to a higher standard than a civilian when it comes to these shootings that they're in these self-defense situations, because of all the training they've had and the knowledge they have of the laws and the maybe situations they get involved in daily where they have to decide in these split seconds to use certain amounts of force? Do you think that they should be held to a higher standard than the civilian population? Let me know down below. So guys, this was a situation in, let's see, Woodbridge, New Jersey. The officer was Sergeant Marco Bruno. It was on May 29, 2025. There was multiple officers on the scene, apparently. The suspect had a weapon. And now the question is, was this shooting justified or was it excessive force? So he was already indicted for first-degree aggravated manslaughter, and that's pretty serious. And let me just say, I'm not that type of guy that says blank the police, whatever. I'm not that guy. I think that the police are 100% necessary, and they really do protect our communities and our families, and I really appreciate all the things they do. That being said, they are humans just like everybody else, and if they are breaking the law or doing things they should not be, they should be charged as well. So the suspect was Amir. He had a history of domestic violence, and there was some type of verbal escalation. I guess the what's his name? Marco Bruno, the sergeant. He jumps out of his car. It looks like he runs over, and he draws his weapon, and he says to the guy, "Drop the blanking bat." I'm using the word blanking, but there was a lot of profanity. Drop the blanking bat, and he says it multiple times. I think like 5 or 6 times. And then he ends up just shooting the suspect. So is a bat, the suspect had a bat. So is that deadly force? Could deadly force be used against you with a bat? Well, of course it could. Now, that all depends on the situation. I always say this. Every self-defense situation has so many variables in it. You can't just say yes or no to one situation. Hey, if a guy has a bat, can you shoot him because it's deadly force? Well, it all depends, and this was one of those cases. So remember, I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. This is just my opinion on this shooting and on how it went down. And I also don't like when people look at body cam videos sometimes, and they're that Monday morning quarterback, and they think they know it all. But I'm just going to give what I think he did wrong and when I think it is okay to use deadly force if someone is using a bat, because a bat is deadly force, right? So a bat, if used against your head, is deadly force. If it's used against your arm, probably not. But that's not the case here. There was multiple officers involved, and they're all standing around, and the sergeant runs through, I believe, 2 of them, and runs to this suspect, says multiple times, drop the blank and bat. He doesn't drop it, so he just shoots him, I think, 5 or 6 times. So if there's multiple officers, they could grab him. They could overwhelm him. If he has a bat, he could give one good swing and then they could all jump on him. Or they're armed with tasers and pepper spray and less lethal options if available. And the right choice for that situation are the best choice. Why not use less lethal options than having to deal with having to draw your firearm and shoot somebody? And that is what they should have used first. And usually police officers are using their tasers or their pepper spray first, especially because the suspect was at a distance, and those are good for that. These pepper spray and the taser, which I think they should have used and probably would have used a taser in any other situation, any other day on this suspect, those would have been better options. But unfortunately, he chose to draw his gun. So if you are a civilian and you were in this type of situation, let's say you're concealed carrying and there's someone in a parking lot and they have a bat and they're coming at you. Well, it depends on a lot of things. How far are they from you? Can you get in your car and drive away? Can you get into a safe building? Remember, in New Jersey, we have the duty to retreat. So if you can safely retreat from someone with a bat, that's a good choice. But if they are very, very close to you, they could swing that bat and hit you in the head. So in certain situations, you would be right in drawing your firearm and trying to use deadly force against them because they were trying to use deadly force against you, especially if your family is with you and you had no escape. And if you ran, your family would still be there. Then you would have no choice but to use that firearm to defend yourself against someone with a bat. So I would say that in most situations, the best defense against a baseball bat would be to escape if you're distant enough. People can close gaps really fast and people can move really quickly to get to you with that bat. So it all depends on the situation. Now look, this is not easy and this is not slow motion in real life. Officers have to make decisions in seconds, and most of the time when I'm watching body cam videos, I'm like, yes, you know what? That police officer was justified. Now, in my opinion, this situation, I don't think he was justified. And I actually talked to a retired police officer that I'm friends with, and he said the same thing. Yikes. So I don't know. Maybe he had a bad day that day. Maybe he wasn't thinking clearly. Or maybe he just had his finger on the trigger when it shouldn't have been, and he started pulling when he got a little tense instead of having his finger outside the trigger guard. So here's the reality. Police are trained and backed by the departments, and they still get indicted when they do things like this. So don't think that you can't. Imagine what more will happen to you. In New Jersey, we have strict self-defense laws. We have the duty to retreat, and prosecutors will second guess all your actions. Why the force was used, what level of force was used, and why didn't you choose a lesser option? It's going to be hard, but you have to assess what level of force is being used against you in those split seconds when that's happening. And you must respond proportionately and appropriately. And then you're going to have to articulate your decision later in court. And if you can't explain why you pulled the trigger, the prosecutor is going to do that for you, and that's not good. But like I said before, do you think police should be held to a higher standard? They have more training, they're expected to manage these situations, they have more tools, they have backup. So you would hope that in these situations, these police officers would be able to decide in those fast-paced situations what level of force they should use that would be appropriate for the situation. This case just shows how fast things can go wrong and how every single decision in a use of force situation matters. So guys, do you think this situation was justified? Do you think he used excessive force? And how would you have handled it? If this is you outside everyday carrying and someone walks up on you with a bat and starts swinging, how would you handle it? Remember, know the use of force laws in your state, especially in states like New Jersey, but every state you should be knowing the laws if you're carrying a firearm. Know your firearm laws and use of force laws. If you're in New Jersey and you own a firearm and you don't know about the use of force laws in New Jersey, hit me up on my website, patriotdefensecompany.com, sign up for a use of force class, and learn about the use of force laws in New Jersey, and also learn about why it matters so much to go over these scenarios in your head so that you can decide in those seconds that really matter what level of force you should be using. Guys, thanks for watching another Freedom Seeds Friday, planting one freedom seed every Friday. Keep learning, keep training. God bless you all. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks a lot, guys.